Dear students, in this chapter we are going to study about the tribals, their day-to-day activities, and who are the people here referred as Dickus, and why these tribals were unhappy after the Britishers introduced money laws in these areas. This is all about that we are going to study in this chapter. Today we will learn the first part of this lesson. Dear students, the term Adivasi, which is also known as tribals, was first used by Thapar Bappa, a social worker. You might have some knowledge about the tribal societies, like they moved from one place to another, they have their own customs and traditions, they have common ties of kinship. So, in the first part of this lesson, there is a mention of a person whose name is Birsa. Birsa, who was born in a Munda family. Munda is actually a group of tribe, a name of a tribe. He is believed to be appointed by the god to save the tribal people from the tyranny. So he had many followers. People said that he had many miraculous powers. So they believe in Birsa that they will that he will solve the problems in these areas. So what are the problems that Birsa is set out to resolve? So we will also learn here what were those changes that had occurred in tribal areas. How did tribal groups live? In this topic, we will understand the different types of activities that these tribal people did in different parts of India in the 19th century. Some of them were jhum cultivators. Jhum cultivation is actually a type of cultivation practiced in the hilly slopes of northeastern parts of India. This type of cultivation is also known as shifting cultivation and slash and burn cultivation. In this cultivation, the cultivators cut the tree tops and set them on fire. The ash of the burnt trees and other vegetation are added to the soil. This helps in the fertility of land. The land is used for 1 to 2 years till the soil gets exhausted and the jhum cultivation is abandoned and left that land once cultivated. This process of left the land uncultivated so that the soil recovers fertility is known as fallow land. The cultivators then move on to the other part of forest land and repeat this process. This is that is why this is known as shifting cultivation. In this slide, we will talk about those tribal people who were hunters and gatherers and how they carried their day-to-day activities for their survival. Thus, Kundas, one such tribal group, were living in the forests of Orissa. They regularly went out on collective hunting. They collected different forest products like fruits, roots of plants, and oil from the seeds of the sal tree and mahau. Mahau it is actually a flower that is eaten or used for making alcohol. Even they collected shrubs and bushes for medicinal purposes. They also collect fruits. They also collect flowers like kusum and palash, which they supply to the local weavers and leather workers. These tribal people get different types of other grains which were not grown in their areas, so they exchanged goods, which we refer as barter system. They also bought goods with the small amount of earnings they had, but their problems became more severe when the forest produce shrank or get reduced. So they had to do another type of work in the villages to feed their families. But one such strange thing was that a tribal group known as Baigas never worked for others in the villages. They regarded themselves as the people of the forest. They are meant for the forest. With the passage of time, tribal people came in contact with the traders and moneylenders. Traders sold their goods in these forests at high prices. Money lenders gave loans to these people at a very high rate of interest, which these people buy goods from which these people buy goods. Thus, we can say these people were always in debt and poverty, and therefore, tribal people considered moneylenders and traders as evil outsiders. So, this was the first part of this lesson. We will study the remaining parts in the next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.